England versus Italy and Germany is going to be over this next week. Italy on the Friday, Germany on the Monday on the 26th, both at 7:45 at night. These are obviously our last games to prepare for the World Cup and to avoid relegation from League A of the UEFA Nations League. Can we do it? Can we pick up some positive results? Let's take a look. So England are finally back in action after that horrendous June UEFA Nations League mini-campaign, if you like. Our first game since the 4-0 hammering by Hungary. So this is where England are then within this group. As you can see, avoiding relegation is going to be incredibly difficult. We are currently bottom of the group, 3 points behind next place Italy. Realistically, we're going to have to win both of these two games coming up to avoid relegation from this league and probably rely on other results elsewhere as well. So we're in a really poor place coming into this. So we've got nothing to lose. But these are also the final two games before the World Cup starts. This is it. This is all Southgate has now. These two games to pick his squad, to see the players he wants to see, and to finalise a system. Because at the minute, we haven't got one. So we play Italy then this Friday. Now, we've played them obviously in the last round of fixtures within the UEFA Nations League. We drew 0-0 with them. It was behind closed doors, if you remember, at the Molineux ground. And to be honest with you, England weren't the worst. It was probably our best performance in the group so far. If Mason Mount and Raheem Sterling could hit a barn door with a bazooka, we'd have won the game. They both missed sitters within the match. But I don't think 0-0 flattered Italy neither. England still weren't great, but it was certainly, I think, the best game we played back in June. But England, of course, do not have a good record against Italy. They're one of 3 teams, I believe, who actually have a positive record against us. It's been a long time since we beat Italy. I think we have to go back all the way to 2014. We've played them 4 or 5 times since. 4 of those games have been 1-1 draws, including the European Championship final. Neither team has got a victory in this fixture over 90 minutes since 2014. The last game obviously was that 0-0. So you would think the past 5 games being draws, low scoring draws as well. You think this game's going to have 0-0 or 1-1 written all over it, really. But look, England need a victory. And more importantly, we need a response. England's set of fixtures back in June weren't only poor, they were horrendous. Some of our worst performances ever. The 4-0 loss to Hungary will certainly go down in history as one of our worst performances in our history. So the performance, arguably, is more important than the relegation. I think a lot of England fans have resigned themselves to the fact that we're probably going to be relegated. We don't want to be relegated, and ideally we need to be staying in this league. As these are the last 2 games, we have to see a performance. We really do. And I think this adds the extra bit of spice to this game. England can no longer, a 0-0 or a 1-1, is that enough for England at this point? Given where England are coming from off the back of those last set of results? I don't think it is. I think England, if they're going to go for any game, now's the time to go for it. They've got nothing to lose. Confidence is low, and we need a inspiring performance, if you like, to really set ourselves up for this World Cup. It's a difficult fixture to call though, because this is the first time in a long time. It's hard to think what England are going to turn up. Are we going to see the same type of performance as we saw back in June? If we do, if we see the England from June against Italy and Germany, I'm calling it now, we're not getting out of the group in the World Cup. This is an opportunity though for England to quickly change things around. Imagine if we get a result, 2 positive results against Italy and Germany in these next 2 fixtures. All of a sudden the mood of the nation changes. Stones is out injured though for this game, so I think you're definitely going to see Harry Maguire coming into this squad, and he's going to be playing alongside obviously then Mark Gahey, Tomori or Cody. It'll be interesting to see if Southgate plays a back 3, also a back 5 or a back 4. Against Hungary we had a back 4 and obviously it didn't work, but previously we were playing back 5s or back 3, however you want to look at it, and that wasn't working either. So it'll be interesting to see what he goes for against Italy away from home. Italy themselves though, of course, are still fighting potentially to win the group. So they're certainly going to go for it, particularly as they're not in the World Cup. This is literally their big tournament now until the European qualifiers and the European finals. So Italy are going to be coming here with plenty of motivation themselves. They're obviously a new look Italy as well from the one that won the European Championships. It is a tough one. England need a performance. We need a performance. I'm going to go for 1-1. I just think as much as I want England to go there and put a performance in, and much as I want to say England are going to do that, I just don't have the confidence in this England team at the minute to go there and turn it around or to be drastically different from what we saw in June. I hope I'm wrong. I really do. But given this fixture historically over the past 10 years seems to end in a draw, I'd be daft to not go for it again. It obviously won't be enough for England. It'll almost seal our fate in the group really as relegation favourites. But I think 1-1's realistic. So the second game in the group is of course against the old rivals Germany. England are back at Wembley following their stint at the Molineux Stadium. It's the first home game since the passing of Queen Elizabeth II. A week on from her funeral. The atmosphere is going to be buzzing for this one. The national anthem is going to be belted out. It's going to add that little bit of extra spice, particularly if England do come off a positive result in Italy and we've got the chance of avoiding relegation. It's also England's final game before the World Cup, so it's a big one. It is a big game. This final game will set the mood of the nation going into Qatar 2022. I do think, though, Germany are the strongest team within this group currently. Hansi Flick has really got them playing good football. They're coming off a positive result against Italy, actually, in the last round of fixtures. I do expect England, though, to perform in this fixture. You know, I want to go for us. I fancy us. Germany, though, will need the victory for top spot. Hungary currently sit top of the group, as you can see, so they're going to need the result to guarantee themselves top place, really, depending on the result against Hungary. We, of course, picked up a very respectable 1-1 draw in Germany back in June. I think England, though, were quite lucky on the night. We had a controversial penalty. We certainly weren't outplayed, and we did finish the game actually really, really well. And a 1-1 result in Germany is not to be sniffed at, but I do think we were a little bit fortunate to come away with that result. But I'm just getting this overriding sense of hope, more hope than expectation, that England are going to turn up for this one and really seal the Nations League off with a victory, regardless if we're relegated, and provide the nation with a bit of a confidence boost before the World Cup. I want to back the lads. I really do. I believe England will win one of these two games, and I'm going to go for this one. I'm going to go for a 2-1 victory for England. So come on, the lads. In Southgate we trust. And even if we get relegated, I hope we seal off this campaign with a victory. So thank you very much for watching. Let me know your predictions in the comments below. Do you agree? Thank you very much for watching. Come on, England. And I will see you on the next video.